Okay, so this is going to be kind of the first entry in what's going to be sort of a BettingAgainstMyself.com TV show. So I'm with Eric Miller, who's been kind of the most consistent commenter. If you want to talk about consistency of commenting, going back to Facebook posts might be my only commenter.
I mean, it's my favorite read on the internet as of now. Which probably just means I don't read too much on the internet.
Well, it's our first real endorsement, actually, from Eric. I think I'm going to post that on the banner. This site endorsed by Eric Miller,
which will probably scare people away more than attract them. Yankees fan primarily, season ticket holder. Other than that, I just like to yell at people when I think they're wrong.
And I don't know why it seems like you and I and all our friends are Yankees fans and Jets fans. Because if you're a Jets fan, you're supposed to like rhyming teams like Jets,
Nets,
and I guess there's nothing in hockey that rhymes with that, but I don't follow hockey.
Yeah, I mean, then you're usually a loser Islanders fan, I think.
I mean, how'd you wind up with Yankees and Jets? I sort of wound up there in a random way, but
my dad, I'm the only dad that doesn't watch sports, I think. So, he liked Mickey Mantle when he was growing up, so he kind of gave me the Yankees in a way. He doesn't watch football. My first season watching football, I watched I think it was the 1989 season. The Giants ended up winning the Super Bowl that year, right? Into 90. And I was a Giants fan, and they won, and I was like, this isn't any fun. I don't want people to think I'm a front runner and cheering for the team that wins all the time. So I said, I'm going to cheer for the Jets. And I've regretted it every day of my life since. Literally, it's been a terrible decision. I would never raise my kid to be Jets fans, ever.
Really? So it was the Super Bowl Giants that screwed you over. See, I think I actually had the opposite thing with the Yankees, where I came into the Yankees when they were not that great. And they were sort of like like the broken down Don Mattingly version of the Yankees, and I was sort of attracted by that, and I just kind of lucked into the fact that they became great like 2 years after that.
Yeah, I mean, we both started watching it, I'm sure at the same time. I think the first game I ever went to was Andy Pettit's debut at Yankee Stadium. So I go back to like 1995, going to games. Before that, I just used to write a yearly book report on Jim Abbott every year. It was a really, I mean, the guy had one hand. I used the same report every year from the time I was in first grade until sixth grade, and then I wrote a book report on David Robinson every year for Black History Month. Those were my two go-to reports.
I mean,
for 6 years straight.
How can you go wrong? He's got one hand. It's a very inspiring story. You can't give anything below a B- to that.
No, and the Admiral. Teachers ate it up. I don't know why. It was probably getting pretty bad by the end there. I was writing at a first grade level at sixth grade.
So this is supposed to be kind of the introduction to what I'm hoping will be at least a sort of weekly series on Monday Night Football with us and Ashwin. I'm sure, I'm going to talk to Ashwin later in the week, and he'll be talking football lines and have some statistics and some crazy things that he pulls out of his ass.
And I would say much in the way of the name of the blog. If you bet on football and you happen to stumble across this, do the opposite of whatever I say. And you're guaranteed to win money. I lose every week, consistently.
So I think Schwinn will probably believe that you should agree with him, but it might actually be a pretty good idea to go against everything he says, too. Especially considering the name of the blog.
If any of us were good at it, we wouldn't be doing a blog in the basement right now.
Yeah, this is if this doesn't go well, we can send it to the U.S. government and as some sort of Taliban death threat. Since that's kind of what our scenery suggests.
All we need is a person with a cloak over their face, reading off the cards.
So we're both sort of front-running Yankee fans, or you might say, and the Yankees are front-running by about one game right now, which is not anything I expected for a month. I'm glad I didn't have my own like sports commentary series back then, because I would have like gone pretty much all out saying there is nothing to worry about. There is no possible way the Baltimore Orioles can outplay the Yankees by a measure of 8 games through the rest of the season. There's really no reason to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be digging up these tapes and shooting ourselves in the head at that point, because I know I say the same stuff. I know that some of the worst, most outrageous comments I ever made were when the Yankees were up 3-0 on the Red Sox in 2004, and I was in college in Boston, and everybody around me was Red Sox fans, and I said, there's no way this is going to happen. It's never happened before in the history of sports. Enjoy year number 87 next year of never winning the World Series. And every single person that I knew in college came after me after that, and I wanted to just stick my head in the ground like an ostrich.
Well, if you want, before we get to the Yankees and the Orioles, we can warm up on the Red Sox. Since that series, I had a bad feeling really ever starting with Game 4. I had a bad feeling about every game after that, and I've never really gotten over it. Like, I used to say that the next time that the Yankees win a World Series, I'll let it go, and I said that after 2009, and I never really sort of let it go. I let 2003 go as soon as it was over. Like, for some reason, that never bothered me. 2001, the loss to the Diamondbacks kind of stuck with me for a while, but 2004, I don't think I ever really let go of until maybe now. Just watching the Red Sox be so awful. Like, the entire last calendar year, starting from September 1st last year, like September 1st this year, has finally allowed me to say, yeah, they did have the best comeback in playoff history, but the same people who put together that team also allowed the Red Sox organization to fall into a level of disrepair that the Yankees haven't seen since the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, I think that starting in 2003, not even in 2004, because look, the Red Sox were a better team in 2003, and the Yankees completely lucked out. There was no reason for us to beat them in that series, except God bless Grady Little for just leaving poor Pedro in and not knowing those stats about after 100 pitches, his ERA blew up to like over 5, and I don't know. Alan Embry and Timlin killed us the entire series, and for some reason they didn't get to see the light of day until it was too late in that game, which was great. But, since that point in 2003, I think Yankee fans have gotten to feel the way that Red Sox fans have felt for decades and decades and millennia. This impending sense of doom that no matter what happens, no matter how good you think your team is, something's going to fall apart, and you know what? If the Yankees are anywhere to be seen, they're going to catch you and they're going to beat you. I remember a game from a couple years ago. It was A.J. Burnett and Josh Beckett started, and the Yankees got to Beckett real early. It was an early season game, and Varitek ended up hitting a game-tying grand slam in this game. Beckett just finally went into lockdown mode after shaky 2 innings, and the Yankees had like a 7-0 lead, and the Yankees ended up blowing this game. And that's when I noticed over and over again that this is how it feels when the Yankees play the Red Sox now. It doesn't matter if they put their single A team on the field. They're wearing those Red Sox jerseys. For some reason, it felt like they were chasing us down, and no lead is safe until we've got 27 outs. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't think about them right now. I don't even check their scores anymore. And it's weird. I have my ESPN updates set with 2 teams. I get my Yankee scores, and I get the Red Sox final score every day. And I'm thinking about just canceling out the Red Sox score because it actually doesn't matter.
Yeah, for the first time in September in a long time.